What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and today I've got a Pokemon Go tip video that should prove to be very useful. Now, I'm sure you guys know that the only Pokemon currently in Pokemon Go are from the first generation, so that's the red, blue, and yellow games. But Niantic has said that in the future, they plan on releasing all of the other generations as well. Knowing Niantic and how long it's taken and the tracking system still isn't fixed, we're not really sure what the future means. A lot of people are saying it's going to come out sometime around the holidays. A lot of people are saying it's going to come out sometime next year. But regardless, it's going to be coming out at some point in the near future. And the next batch of Pokemon they're going to be adding in are from the second generation. So that's the games of Silver, Gold, and Crystal. And with that addition, we are going to be getting 100 new Pokemon to Pokemon Go. Now, obviously, that's very exciting. It's going to give us a lot more to do, a lot more to catch, and a lot more to chase after. But there is a way that you can kind of start preparing, and that's by saving up candies of Pokemon in Gen 1 that are related to Pokemon in Gen 2. So to start things off, we have 4 Pokemon from Gen 1 that don't have any evolutions that gain a second stage evolution with Gen 2, which is pretty exciting. The first one is one of the ones I'm looking forward to the most, and that's that Onix can turn into Steelix. Now, right now in Pokemon Go, Onix kind of got the shaft. I mean, he's very weak. He's hard to find. You can't power him up very far. He's not a very viable Pokemon. I really like Onix. It makes me sad. I loved him in the games. I loved him in the show. A lot of people love Onix, and right now he's just not that useful. So hopefully with Steelix, he can become a little bit more powerful and a little bit better of an option to use. He actually gains a Steel type in that transformation, so Steelix is both a Rock and Steel Pokemon, which is kind of cool. And we'll have to wait and see. But if you guys can, start saving up that Onix candy. Next up, at number 2, we've got Scyther. He gains an evolution to Sizer. And I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I've heard people call it Scissor before, but I say Sizer because it sounds kind of like Scyther. I don't know. Anyway, so similar to Onix to Steelix, he gains a Steel type in this. So Sizer is both Bug and Steel. And basically what he does is he loses a little bit of speed in exchange for more attack and more defense. So he becomes a little bit beefier, tougher Pokemon, which is what Pokemon Go tends to kind of favor so far. It doesn't really like those small, speedy Pokemon. It likes the big, tough ones. So hopefully that's a big upgrade for our boy Scyther here. At the number 3 spot, we have the favorite Pokemon for a lot of people. Porygon actually evolves into Porygon 2, which is really weird looking. He loses all of his edges and he becomes completely rounded. I honestly don't like the look as much, but to each his own. Obviously, he's going to become a little bit more powerful with that evolve. So if you guys can, start saving up those Porygon candies, even though they're already pretty rare. So it's going to be pretty tough. And talking about tough to find, even more rare than Porygon, at least for me, is Chansey. So I can't even show you guys Chansey because I haven't caught it yet. But Chansey gains an evolution to Blissey in Generation 2. And Blissey is an even bigger, even pinker, even tankier version of Chansey. Chansey's already a beast when it comes to HP. Blissey is going to be even better, which is kind of crazy. Next up, we've got a couple of Stage 2 Pokemon that gain a third stage of evolution with the introduction of Generation 2. So first of all, we've got Seadra. He can actually turn into a Kingdra, which is very exciting because in that evolution, he gains Dragon type. He's both water and dragon, which is exciting. You guys know recently Gyarados lost its Dragon Breath attack, which makes it not as good against Dragonites, which are everywhere. So hopefully Kingdra is going to give us another option to be able to fight back against those Dragonites. We'll have to wait and see. And then also another second stage that gains a third stage is going to be Golbat, who turns into Crobat. And Crobat is a very good Pokemon, but he's very small and fast. And like I said before, that's not really favored in Pokemon Go. It prefers stuff that does high damage and has high health, which is not what Crobat is. So we'll have to wait and see if he's good, but make sure you guys are saving up those Zubat candies as well. If you guys have been counting so far, we've covered 6 Pokemon, and that means we've got 4 more to go. This is where it gets really interesting. So for these last 4, we are getting alternate stages of evolution, like alternate forms of evolution. Like Eevee can turn into Jolteon, Flareon, or Vaporeon. It's kind of the same deal. So we're not sure if it's going to work like Eevee works, where it's 100% random, or if there's going to be a way to control it somehow, or what's going to happen. But it's going to be interesting. So first up, we've got Gloom. Obviously, Gloom can turn into Vileplume, as you guys are seeing on screen, or he can turn into Blossom. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Next up, kind of a similar stage, is that Poliwhirl can turn into Poliwrath or into Politoed. He takes a little bit of a different turn there, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Next up, we've got Slowpoke. So right now, he just evolves into Slowbro, but with the introduction of Gen 2, he gains an option to go to Slowking, which, again, kind of interesting. We're not sure how that's going to work. Slowking is also a water and psychic Pokemon similar to Slowbro, but I think oftentimes is a little bit more powerful. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And then finally, last but definitely not least, we have the biggest question as to how it's going to work and what's going to happen. Eevee actually gains 2 new evolutions, which is insane. As if he wasn't already versatile enough. He gains Espeon and Umbreon, which is pretty exciting. So right now, apart from the little Easter egg that works one time for like Sparky, Rainer, and Pyro, it's 100% random as to what you get out of Eevee. Is it going to stay that way? Possibly. That seems kind of likely. Or are they going to add something else in? In the actual Pokemon games, you had to have high friendship with them and then level them up during the morning or daytime to be able to get Espeon, and then during the nighttime to be able to get Umbreon. So maybe they'll have some sort of timing thing added into it. I'm not sure. It's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens here. But, you know, it's exciting. I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully it comes sometime soon. So there you guys have it. Like I said, it's a little tip that I think will pay off in the long run. I do want to note that, you know, if you don't have like the evolutions of any of these Pokemon already, you should get them first. Like plan on playing the game and having fun with it first. Don't look too far into the future and get too far into the strategy. But if you already have a couple of Seadras, there's really no point in continuing to evolve more. Like, start saving up that Horsey Candy to be able to get that Kingdra in the future. And as you guys can see, I'm practicing it myself. Look at this Eevee. I've got 247 Eevee Candy right now. I could totally evolve a bunch more Eevees, but I don't really have to because I already have so many. So there's no point in continuing to get the same stuff that you already have. Save it up, and hopefully it's going to pay you back later. So there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. And come back tomorrow for more Pokemon Go videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace out.